Hey bestie, it's me Waddles. With Minecraft's new drop update system, new content is coming quicker than ever before. In fact, counting drops, this year there were like 4 major updates and tons of updates in between. And here are 168 new Minecraft features you need to know about. Beginning with, there's only one spot. I could begin today. My newest obsession, the creaking, the Star of the Garden Awakens drop. It's a brand new hostile mob that only moves when you look away from it. I almost forgot. Welcome to List Week, by the way. This year, Slime Blocks got a brand new functionality where if you sneak land on the block, you don't take damage. Dogs, they were the star of the show for like the first quarter of the year. This new wolf is called the Ashen Wolf, found in the Snowy Taiga. The Black Wolf, you'll be able to find this in the Old Growth Pine Taiga. Chestnut Wolf, different aesthetic, similar location, the Old Growth Spruce Taiga. The Rusty Wolf, it looks so good. If you're on a hunt for it, try the Sparse Jungle. The Snowy Wolf looks exactly like its name says. The Spotted Wolf is one of the more sick looking ones. It's found in the Acacia Plateau. The Striped Wolf, which I believe is based off of the real-world hyena, can be found in the Wooded Badlands. I have so much trouble finding this one. And last but not least, kind of like your new default wolf, spawning all over your world in the forest. There's no way you haven't seen it quite yet. Rounding out our first 10 features, this one, it's called the Woods Wolf. Wolves were a pretty big deal this year, but so was copper. The brand new chiseled copper block, is that a real? Leave this thing out in the wild for a little while and it turns to an exposed copper block. Then we've got the weathered copper block, and last but not least, for that one right there, we have the fully oxidized copper block. Copper, great, like the name suggests, this stuff is great. It's a wonderful brand new window block, and maybe you could use it as the floor, mobs don't spawn on it, or you could place it down and let it oxidize a little bit more, and then fully oxidize to a cool green looking window. Copper door, I love the handles on this thing. Looks so good. But after a little bit of time, I mean, it still looks so good, just looks a little older. A little bit more time, a little bit older. And last but not least, a green door. Hey, before you forget, like I kind of forgot to say, real quick, tap the like button on this video. It would help me out a huge time. Also, make sure you're subscribed. It looks like this next year is going to be real spicy when it comes to new Minecraft content. I mean, of course, you're going to want to see me drool over all of the brand new trap doors that are added to the game next year. Look at how good the copper one looks. Ah, yes, the copper bulb. This is one of the most advanced Minecraft blocks of all time. You give it power, it turns on. You take the power away, it stays on. You power it again, now it's off, but there's power. You take it away, and I mean, hey, that right there is the circle of bulb for you. Now, a cool thing about the copper bulb, the more oxidized this block gets, the more dim the light gets. We start with a poly lit block, and slowly but surely, the bulb gets a little bit more dim until there's practically almost no light at all. Now, nearly every single one of those new copper blocks that we just took a look at, they're all part of a brand new structure that was added to the game this year. It's called the Trial Chambers. This is a relatively common underground structure that'll generate all across your world. The structure itself is composed of multiple different rooms connected with hallways. Inside of those rooms are different trials that you can chamber. Very rarely, and also only on Minecraft Java Edition right now, you'll also be able to find a strange, rare room called an encounter. These encounters are so rare that after checking like 20 chambers, I still couldn't find one. To help with your visualization, basically picture a miniature trial chamber room. Now, inside of that structure, all over the place, you might have noticed a brand new chest. Where there's a new chest, and alongside that new chest, there's a new key. You use that key on the chest one time, and one time only per player, and you'll get a random assortment of loot. There is also something that is called an ominous vault. It's very similar, except instead of orange, it's blue, and it has 3 heads. Use an ominous key on an ominous vault, and the loot that you'll get, well, theoretically, it should be a little bit better. Ooh, the tough block. It was a lonely since the 1.18 update. Well, no longer any lonely because we've got slabs. We've got staircases. Oh my god, and beautiful walls, we've got them. Check out this new block. It's called the Chiseled Tough Block. I love the swirly that we get on the top. Well, yes, but I'm not gonna lie. I think I love just about every single new block that was added to the game this year. They're all so beautiful looking, especially the new Supreme Brick block. Hey, now speaking of bricks, these 3 brick blocks, classic ones, they all had their texture updated this year and shifted down 1 pixel in order to align with something we'll talk about later. No spoilers. But anyways, back to the new blocks right here. A whole family for the tough brick block too. That's so good. And the last but definitely not least, the chiseled tough brick block. The top of it always looks like some kind of fancy ore or something to me. Use that on a floor in your build, please. Armadillo, a brand new mob. The final mob build winner. We made it. Now, interestingly, the armadillo made it to the game and not in Minecraft 1.21. Instead, it was added in 1.21.4, a new drop. It's got this cool new mechanic where you walk up to it with a brush and brush it for a piece of scoot. Now, the armadillo itself is a super advanced mod. There's a lot to it. For example, a dillo armor. If you want to gear your dog up and make it a little bit more safe with a little bit of armadillo scoot, wolf armor. And then you could take your wolf armor over to your local dyeing station, aka crafting table, and go ahead and put a little bit of dye on that dog suit too. Make it fancy. We have a lot of features to talk about today, so we've got to move at least relatively quick. If you'd like a little bit more information on any of the features that we're talking about today, check out the Everything series playlist afterwards, because I've got in-depth guides on almost everything, including those new cat collars. Okay, well, maybe not a guide on that one, but they're beautiful. They wrap around the neck now. Now listen. Ooh, that's brand new. That sounds good. The old Scoot, which was formerly just called Scoot, is now Turtle Scoot, and the new Scoot, which is now Armadillo Scoot, is called Armadillo Scoot. Rabbits look like they're straight out of the early 2010s still, but their pathfinding has been improved big time. Inside of your world at World Spawn, there's a little thing called spawn chunks. The size of the spawn chunk area has been decreased. It was 19 by 19. Now it's 3 by 3. There's also a fancy game world that you can mess with to adjust it. The menus, oh wow, last year menu revamp began, this year it continues. That dirty blur background, no longer, it's all about the smooth blur. And those blurs, they actually carry over to other things in the game. When you go into the nether, did you see that? The nether portal? And when you go into the end, this one's really quick, don't blink here, but it's a brand new loaded too. We have a change to the meta of a Minecraft world because no longer is it called cheats. You don't have to feel as bad because you're not good. We took a look at vaults earlier. There's a new type of spawner. These new types of spawners, they come in both a normal version and an ominous version, basically spawned a predetermined amount of mobs, say 6 mobs around you total, then go into a 30-minute cooldown. Ooh, but in able to find a lot of the ominous stuff, you're gonna need this new potion called an ominous bottle. Okay, it's not like really a potion, but it kind of is too. Drink this thing and you'll get the new and improved bad omen effect. One of the things this new and improved bad omen thing changed is rates. For starters, no longer when you take out a banner head do you just get the bad omen effect. Instead, you get an ominous bottle. You could then take that ominous bottle, drink it, head into a village, and a raid doesn't just immediately begin. A huge chunk of the way through the list today, but who's keeping count? This item might be the most beautiful thing I've taken a look at today. And we've taken a look at a lot of good-looking things, including this next one. Wow, banner patterns. They got rejuvenized in this year. I've been giving toilet paper on a roll a little bit, but that's okay. And for Minecraft Java Gang only, brand new banner pattern, the board your indent. You'll craft this one with the oxide daisy and a piece of paper. And this is a parody update here because we have the bricked up, no, it's field masoned from Bedrock as well. Brand new to the game banner pattern. You find it in the trial chamber. It's called Flow. And looking quite nice, we have the Guster banner pattern as well. Arbor trims, they were added last year. This year, we got 2 brand new ones. This one is called the Bolt. And this one, trimmed with a very mysterious material. This is a contender for my new favorite armor trim. This buddy right here, the Breeze. It's a new hostile mob. It's kind of like the Blaze. Take a Breeze out in your world and you'll get yourself a Breeze Rod, which is kind of like a Blaze Rod. Throw a Breeze Rod in a crafting table and it crafts down to wind charges. And wind charges, oh my god, they're so cool. Look at these things. You could use these things, time them just right, and jump like super high in your world. You could also use them to cancel fall damage. The Heavy Core, one of my favorite additions of the year because when they added it, they left its use up to a mystery. Fast forward a little bit of time and we would find out that the Heavy Core is part of the brand new mace weapon. With the mace, if you're up high and you fall and hit something, well, no, don't, not my bogs. Stop. As you fall with the mace, you build up fall damage. It's pretty sick. And the maze, ooh, speaking of it, brand new enchantments, Density. Density adds fall damage per block to that already increased fall damage amount per block. The Breach enchantment, this one is like star of the show when it comes to PvP, especially with armor. Well, it bypasses armor. And then the Wind Burst enchantment, check this one out. When you fall and land a hit with the Wind Burst enchantment, 3 levels of it, each level will send you a little higher. A couple new potions or effects this year. They come into play in the trial chambers, the ominous versions of them, but this one is called oozing. If a mob has oozing and you take it out, oh, the 2 slime, medium ones, are spawned every time. This one is called weaving. It's kind of similar. Cool new particle effects too, except this time when you take a mob out, instead of slime, it's cobweb. This one is called wind charging. If something passes away with wind charging, well, gassy. And then last but not least, infestation. So this is the only one that works differently. Instead of when it goes away, it's when it takes damage. Every single time a mob takes damage while it has infestation, it has the small chance to spawn 1 or 2 silverfish nearby. Shards, they also revolutionized Minecraft in 2023. Well, we've got a new one, Scrape. And another new one, Flow. And give it up for Guster, the shard version. There was a bogged right here earlier. Bees, they're adorable, but you know, they're a little bit derpy. Sometimes their pathfinding wasn't the best. Until now. This year, bee pathfinding had a huge overhaul that involves how they get stuck on corners, where they decide to navigate, how far they navigate, just like really almost everything when it comes to the bee. Bee nest, they also got a huge upgrade this year too. So check this out. If I have a silk touch axe and I go ahead and pick one of these things up, maybe pick another one of these things up, and I take a look at them, well, not only are the icons actually updated, but I hover over it, it brings new informational UI, if you will. Carved pumpkins. This one is great for multiplayer. If you put a carved pumpkin on your head and then take a look at a map, well, if you have that carved pumpkin on your head, you're not going to show up on the map. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that this thing made it to the game, but the bundle, oh my god, it was actually added to the game this year after like 4 years. This stuff is insane. The bundle is used for condensing your inventory down. Well, this is kind of how the thing looks when you start adding a bunch of things to it. Oh my gosh, they also made it so you could dye the bundle too. There are 16 different bundle colors to dye. Ooh, Minecraft is Java only. Look at the new redstone torch. It's boxy, it's cubey, and why doesn't Bedrock have this like months later? Bats will now be able to spawn in more places than ever before, including on the overworld if the darkness is dark and the block is right. Squid, both the glowy version and the normally version, well, they both have baby versions on Java too. Salmon, Bedrock gang, I stomp at you. Supremacy no longer. The mixed sizing giant salmon, it's on Java too. Look at that guy, he's a honker. Now, speaking of mobs, this should maybe be in water. If I go in water, look at the air bubbles. There's a sound. That's brand new. And there's a deflated bubble texture too. Mojang also took some time in the middle of this year to do a whole rarity rework, with different items like the dragon head having magenta name, and then other items like the goat horn having a yellow name. Now, if you played Minecraft recently, you know about their new experiment system, where you can like enable or disable certain changes that might come to the game. Well, there's a whole new experiment with quite a bit to it involving minecarts. One of the most interesting parts of this new minecart update is a new game rule, minecart max speed. We can go ahead and raise this up like crazy, set ourselves up a tiny little setup, and then check this out. The minecart right here, well, it's actually going to appreciate speed for once in our lives here, eventually building its way up to 9,999 blocks per second. Also attached to this minecart update, they move smoother than ever before. Clearly you could tell here. And inside of accessibility settings, there's a brand new setting called Rotate with Minecarts. If I did turn that setting on, when the minecart turns, so would my POV. We are now over 100 entries into today's video. Have you subscribed yet? With this new system fully laid out, I think there'll be even more updates next year than there were this year. But Redstone is another experimental update thing, where basically they're trying to make it make a little bit more sense. Ender Pearls have a revamp this year. Essentially, when I throw an Ender Pearl will now actually load chunks on its own, like as it passes through them. That means you can use an Ender Pearl to build a really easy chunk loader. There's a brand new video setting added to the game this year. I mean, I have Optifine, so it all looks a little bit different, but the new setting here in vanilla is reduce FPS when AFK is by default, or you could reduce it only when the game is minimized. Dolphins, baby mobs, how could I forget? A baby dolphin is a thing too. Ooh, but I'm not forgetting. Very recently, there was a brand new Minecraft update, the Garden Awakens drop, with a new flower. This thing is called the Eye Blossom. When turned into a sus-stew, you get blindness. When put into a crafting table, you get great eye. The flower, it closes during the day, opens up at nighttime to this version. The open version gives you nausea in a sus-stew or orange dye in a crafting table. Remember when we took a look at trim earlier, I was being facetious. I couldn't show you the brand new material, but now I can. Look at the orange trimming material from the resin brick. A new moss variant called pale moss. It's the same, except pale. A new type of moss carpet, which does something really cool on walls that normal moss carpet can only dream of. Come on, let's get this in pair. Hanging pale moss as well. This is only in the pale version of moss, but it's so planty and tangy. Additionally, if you hang this thing on a pale oak log or a couple of the other new blocks, listen the sounds. Ooh, it's a brand new way of creating ambient sounds with a block combination. A brand new sapling, which, spoiler alert, you know what that means, right? Well, wrong. It's a new tree variant. It's kind of a new tree, right? New blocks, but the shape is the same. Brand new leaf block gets paled out. It's called Pale Oak Leaves. And from the Pale Oak Leaf block, a new particle effect is one of the best ones in the entire game. The leaf, it actually leaves, right? That tree was built out of a new type of a wood called the Pale Oak Log. And the Pale Oak Log, you can of course condense it down into Pale Oak Wood.
Oh, but take an axe to it and you will find my beautiful, my little pretty, this amazing stripped Pale Oak Log.
Pale oak wood is a thing too, but the real star of the show here is the pale oak plank in the family. This is a white wood set at last. After like 15 years of begging the developers in the game's 15th anniversary year, we actually did it. We've got a pale, washed out, eerie looking wood set. It's pale oak wood. It's so nice looking. The door right there, that's a unibrow, a button nose, the eyes, the mouth. I don't know how many times you heard me say it before. In my build idea video in the 100 Day in a Pale Garden series, the door, the trap door, every single thing about the pale oak wood is so beautiful looking. We've got trap doors, pressure plates, buttons, all of it. Even, hey, look at that. That's a sign, and it's talking to me. Hanging sign has made it into the game as well. Couple brand new boats too, they're pretty beautiful. They move just as the other ones. But the wood family, it doesn't really end there. There's another one, the creaking heart. So this is kind of tied to the family, except at the same time, it's not as well. You'll be able to find this randomly generating in some natural pale oak trees. It's tied to the creaking mob. You probably know all about it if you don't check out this one next. But you sandwich it in between two pale oak logs and it lights up. You hit a creaking nearby and resin clumps form. You can condense the resin clumps down into resin blocks. Or you can smelt them up into the resin brick item. Then you can take 4 resin brick items and craft them into the resin brick block. And the resin brick block, it comes with a brick family. And I believe what is our only Bedrock exclusive for today's list, add-ons. Add-ons debuted officially in the Minecraft Bedrock Marketplace earlier this year and have taken the game and the community by storm. Of course, I know that like mods, add-ons have been a thing for a while. It's just the fact that they're in the marketplace, they're more accessible to everyone. Anyways, back to the bricks, the chiseled resin brick, it's creaking. Now, so far today, we've gone over a lot of different features. If you can think of one feature that was added to the game that I missed, then throw that down in the comments below. Getting near the end of our list today, let's go to the art museum for a couple cool paintings. This one is called Humble by Sarah Boving, a brand new painting artist added to the game in 1.20. Meditative, it's calm. Prairie Ride, it's wild. Pack.png, it's nostalgic. So those 5 paintings were by Sarah Boving. These next ones are by the original painting artist, Zetterstrand. These paintings have such a similar aesthetic and vibe to those classic ones that were added to Minecraft, and I think before this update, I'm pretty sure the last time paintings were added to the game before this update was like 2012 or 2013 or something like that, a long time ago. Some of these paintings are really familiar feeling. Like, I swear I grew up with a painting just like that in my IRL house on a mantle. Some of these other ones, like this one, Orb, this is like a terrifying creepypasta night vibe, walking around and there's like a weird light vibe. Owl lemons, what the heck is that? This one, I kind of always interpreted this as like the passage of time. You have dinosaur, then time, you have robot man on fire by the behind. Oh, it's terrifying. This painting is definitely my new favorite Zetterstrand one. It's called Pond. What is the lore behind this one? Sunflower with the sunflowers, oh, adorable. And then last but not least, we've got Tides. It kind of feels sad. So today here, right at the end, we've got a little bit of music. There's a new music disc, Creator, Music Box. It's creepy, it's eerie. Then we have Creator, the normal version. Those ones are both by Lena Rain. Then we've got Precipice. President. So clearly, as you can see with these new tipped arrows right here with those new effects, this year has been a large year for Minecraft updates, and things added to the game. I think this year overall was probably the year in recent memory with like the most additions added to Minecraft. It's absolutely insane, everything that was added to the game. I'd like to say thank you, and to last but not least, to Crafter. How could I almost forget that thing? I'd like to say thank you for watching today's video, and if you checked out this year's videos where I covered all of these updates, thank you even more. It's my passion, my life's joy to get to make these videos for you, talk about the Minecraft updates, dive into them, unpack them, and everything like that. And even just setting up this world, looking back at the year, I was getting in my feels like, wow, time has flown, and just also this game has grown so much over this past year. I can't wait for next. In order to stay up to date through this next year, make sure you tap that like button, subscribe for more videos, and down below if you haven't yet, what's your favorite thing that came to the game this year? It's been me, Waddles, this week. Happy holidays. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.